So, everyone, I'm going to real quick do an introduction monologue, but before then, please roll initiative.
Do we use the computer thingy to do that, or like, am I going to make a horrible noise by throwing my dice on the desk?
Oh,
Please use the computer thingy.
I have rolled a natural one. Great way to start.
Alright, we're doing it in the game zone? Okay, I understand now.
It's a little confusing. That's why I want to start out slow.
Initiative.
This is our little dice box.
See, hello Dicebot. What a friendly robot.
Everybody
Did
be
you
nice
get
to
less
Dicebot,
than
or I'll be
one?
after your heads.
Oh, I think because you need to put D.
Oh, I was gonna say that was far too good for my kind of luck. That's sorry.
Maud, did you get a nat 20?
No, I
Yes.
didn't. I am just
Got a
really
null.
bad.
Oh, no, you didn't. Okay.
I'm really bad
I
at
was
computers.
going to be very impressed and more than a little surprised.
No. Also, like, initiative is the most helpful.
Yes, Dicebot can do basic arithmetic. We're very proud of Dicebot.
It seems like we're just in order of alphabetic anyway.
Wait, who's going first? Like, is it
Let me
lowest to
go
highest or
through
highest?
real quick. So Maud, you're going to go first, and then it's going to be Rave, and then it's going to be Lyra. And I'll put that down in the chat. Maud. Oh wait, I have to roll too.
I think the D&D, I mean, the DM can probably talk at any time, right? Because you're God.
Oh, that's right. I get to talk whenever I want. So what I'll probably do is actually to keep it varied, I'll probably just go ahead and re-roll initiative anytime combat starts for me. But for you guys, it's going to always be Mod, then is it Rave or Ray with a Y?
Like from Neon Genesis Heaven Killing. Ray.
One more time?
Oh, sorry.
You okay? Yes. Okay. Then Lyra. So this I can put that more clearly.
Okay.
Edit.
I think technically you should be the first because we don't know where we are in the universe.
Order. Yes, I'm editing, sorry. Yeah.
We just sat here floating in the absence of reality.
Okay. So the order is I go first, then Maud will go second, Ray will go third, and then Lyra, and then we'll go right back to the top. And we'll just do that for the entirety of the game to make sure that A, everybody gets the chance to talk, and B, we also start knowing how to work with initiative. Real quick before I get into the game, final tidbit. Is anybody here new to D&D?
New to playing.
Mm-hmm.
I've done roleplay before, and I have listened in on campaigns, but I haven't participated.
All right, cool. If you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, let's get this baby rolling. It's about time we got this baby rolling, isn't it? I have made you all wait long enough. It's been 20 minutes already. Okay.
Oh my god, it has been 20 minutes.
Time just flows so much faster than you think it will when you're actually playing the game. All right. You find yourself in the land of the Dreamworkers along the edge of the Inkwell continent, in the closest town for miles, in a small but hospitable bar named the Third Directional. You three arrive and find the place unusually bustling. If you've been here before, you've never seen it like this. And if you haven't been here before, it looks like every table is filled. There's a teenage waitress who is quite literally scurrying this way and that way across the room. And when she sees you guys, she gives you a sort of panicked smile like, oh shit, more customers, but I have to be polite. And she says, are you all three together? No? Well, too bad you're sitting together now. We only have one table. She swaps you into a small table in the corner. And she sits you next to a poster board of odd jobs and local events and so forth. And then she scurries away before she can even get your drinks. So now 3 strangers find themselves at a table. Please introduce yourselves and let us know how you would like to be called and what your character looks like.
Okay, well, hello, I'm Mod. Mod is fine. Mod is what most people online call me, yay. And the character I play is called Alibi. He's a sorcerer. He's definitely legit. You have absolutely no idea what this character could be as an animal, but I will say that he has a shiny black nose, he has an orange snout, he has orange legs that you can see sticking out from underneath a very big, dusty, well-worn, but well-made purple coat with, you know, pointy ears. That might be a giveaway. And he's got a long orange tail with a white tip, so go figure. But most of his face is actually always covered up by the hood and is very, very, very shadowy under there. But he's got some very beautiful, bright, shiny eyes, which probably go with his 17 charisma. So,
wow.
Yeah, deal with that.
All right.
Hello, I'm Ray, and my character is Gretchen a broom who is a fighter. The rest of her family is magical, but she's too tough and tumble for that. She has very grassy, weedy hair, all frayed up and fluffy, and a long little wooden nose, oaken skin, and just a little rag covering her body.
All right.
That's so cute.
All right, I'm Lyra. My character is called Doc Acne. And as she sits down, she's... an oversized pair of goggles and a bandana around her mouth and nose. But you could still like tell what she's emoting at any given time because her eyebrows actually come out above her hair and goggles, and I don't know how that works, but she's a toon, so it's fine. Yeah.
All right. So these 3 strangers come to the same table and sort of stare awkwardly at each other a little bit. The waitress finally comes back and says, all right, drinks? But before you can say anything, someone bursts through the door, sobbing unconsolably. A black sheep has burst his way through the door and literally fell onto his knees, wailing, my daughter! They took my daughter! She's gone! She's gone! There's a hush and then a sudden murmur as everyone starts questioning him. What do you mean your daughter's gone? Who the heck are you? I've never seen you in town before. Throughout this interrogation, you figure out that this man is a merchant who is trying to come to this place for the first time, and bandits have taken his daughter. And the reason you know it's bandits is because when he wailed, bandits took my daughter, everyone was like, ooh, what kind of bandits? We're pretty good at fighting bandits over here. Everyone was excitedly piling on. And then the moment that he said, it was down at the cycle of life tomb, there's a whoosh, and everybody leaves in a comedic cloud of smoke. Everyone that is, except you three. What do you do?
Well, I'm not going to hang around if that's the general response. And, Alibi is just heading for the door, so...
All right. Do either of you two take pity upon this poor sheep?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way we can just leave this person like this. And what if we're next anyway? Gotta do something now before we get caught up in this.
Yeah, someone's got to do something, and it might as well be us because everyone else is gone.
The sheep looks at you with tears still streaming from his face and says, "Please, I don't have much, but I can help you if you'll help me. They took my daughter and they want money, but I don't have money. I only have things to sell, but I could give you something special if you would help me."
You know that sound that plays when a video gets played in reverse? That noise happens, and Alibi walks backwards very quickly, and then this beautiful smile of, just the most shiny, pretty, pointy white teeth you've ever seen. Oh, my dear I'm so sorry I hadn't heard you properly the first time. Oh, do get up off the floor. Dear, this is no good at all. Come on, you two. We've got to take care of this poor, unfortunate soul and to solve all of his problems immediately. Now, what you can go into details about the saga lately, but what things do you have specifically?
Well, first and foremost, I squirreled away when I left. I have 3 healing potions. If all 3 of you would help, I would give them away willingly. And when you came back with my daughter, and suddenly his spine straightens up just a little bit, and you can tell that he's not going to give away everything until he's got his girl back. But then he immediately collapses back into sobs after he's made that clear. He's like, "If you came back with my daughter, I would give you so much more."
That'll do.
How about your hair?
Ooh.
You wish to have some of my fur? Well, he brushes his fur slightly. "I see that you have very good taste. I would willingly give everything except a modest, modesty's sake. Every bit of fur I have would be yours if you would just give me my daughter back." It's clear that anytime he talks about his daughter, he's going to immediately collapse into sobs. He is now wailing on the floor a little bit, and the teenage waitress is just staring slightly disapproving, but also she gets it because it's his kid, but come on, man, pull yourself together. Teens, man.
It's a deal.
Yeah, we'd be happy to help. So you said this is over by the cycle of life. We gotta go there?
Yes. He sniffs and pulls himself together just a little bit. Let me see. Let's see. So he gives you directions to the old Cycle of Life tomb, which is past the forests of Notoro. It's about a day or two's travel away, but it's also not far. The bandits that attacked seem to be surprisingly well coordinated, and they specifically attacked him in the tomb, which he was trying to map out. He also tells you, if you find anything in that tomb and you bring my daughter back, you can have it all. You can have it. I don't care about anything in that tomb. I just want my little girl back. So Bernard gives you each a healing potion and indicates that if you succeed in saving the lost lamb, he will also, in addition to the fine goods which I, a merchant, have, he will owe you a massive favor. So go ahead and write down on your character sheets that you have a healing potion.
That's very welcome.
Excellent.
And Bernard owes you a favor if you ever join in on another one-shot.
This is almost an aside, but you have to notice that, if you're looking closely at Alibi, as soon as he realizes they're going into a tomb, he looks very uncomfortable about that.
All right. So, do you guys want to... Let me see. You've agreed to help. I'm sorry. It's been a little while. I'm talking out loud to think to myself. You've agreed to help. Next, can somebody, I guess, Lyra, can you just roll a d20 without any modifiers, real quick? Thank you. All right, so you guys travel past through the forest of Notaro, alternating who's on watch, but the night passes by uneventfully.
Are we traveling via map? Is this like the Muppets? We're going via map, like you just see this sort of montage of things that are happening as the line travels across.
Yes, absolutely. But oddly, nothing much really happens for the fact that there are bandits less than a day's travel. You're not really accosted during in the forest. You don't really even see many animals aside from like normal birds and stuff. Everything
they all
passes
speak
by.
in 120 and less.
Everything passes pretty uneventfully. So now, mere hours later, in a natural divot in the valley, you hide along the edges of the forest and gaze at the opening of the Cycle of Life tomb. What, pray tell, do you all do? Maud, you're up.
Well, we're here, I suppose. That's an accomplishment. The complete absence of any other living life on the way here is slightly disconcerting, I have to admit. Are you two really determined to do this? Because, if you were feeling uncomfortable about this adventure or misadventure, as it might turn out to be, I would be very understanding, and I wouldn't tell anybody that you were feeling a little bit afraid or anything.
No problem at all. Not a bit.
This seems like a great idea.
Yeah, seems pretty good in there.
Just incidentally, I don't know how to put this, but how experienced are you two at going into tombs, which may be, fine, everything in there is dead, so it should be fine. It should be absolutely not haunted or inhabited by talking skeletons or things that crawl out of the wall at you. But I mean, just in case there is something like that, do either of you have any experience in that regard?
Well, I maybe have some skeletons in my broom closet.
I've never fought anything in my life, but I do blow myself up pretty regularly. So I'm pretty, sturdy. I'm fine.
Okay, I'm not sure whether that makes me want to stand behind you or as far away from you as possible, but that's something. So who's going in first? Because it isn't going to be me.
I'm fine with going first. First to punch. First to win.
Are you guys trying to avoid being seen?
Are we?
Oh, not a bit.
Oh no.
Not avoiding it a bit.
Okay.
Maybe we should roll a perception check just in case.
Smart.
Is everybody going to do that, or is it just going to be the cowardly fox guy?
I say everybody roll perception.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
What's my perception? Oh, good. It's plus nothing. That's super.
Oh, that's still better than me. Oh, good.
Nice.
Okay, that's still pretty bad.
I'm gonna have to do something to you, Lara. I don't know what yet, but something's gonna have to happen.
I rolled a 1 minus 1.
All right, so Reibles is Gretchen. All the others seem to be like looking away from the tomb, and like you'd expect that from Alibi, but Doc seems to be have his head a little bit more in the game, but they don't seem to be looking in the right direction. So you alone see that there are actually 2 people posted out in front of the tomb doors. And they haven't noticed you yet, but if you want to notify your companions, there's probably going to have to be a fight before anything else happens in the tomb in order to get into the tomb.
Yes. Hey, look at those 2 guys over there. You think they're trying to get in on our turf, our game?
Wait, those 2 guys. Okay. Okay, what's the plan?
Well, there's the forwards plan and the backwards plan, and I know which one of those 2 I'd prefer, but I have a feeling that inevitably we're going to have to go with the forwards plan, aren't we? Do we have to confront them? I mean, we could always just try talking to them nicely, or we could distract them and try to get them away from the hole into the earth that we want to go into. I cannot believe that I have agreed to this.
I mean, that's a good question. Is there another entrance around here somewhere? I mean, avoid fighting. I don't see why not.
Lyra, go ahead and I gotta remember where all of my C's are. Go ahead and roll a history check. And Alibi, since you're so nervous, if you want, you can roll a perception check again to see if you see any other way in.
Does it have to be perception? What about investigation?
There you go. I knew it was one of them, but I got the wrong one. Investigation is the right one.
Because I do have a +4 for that. That's still terrible. It's a 13, baby.
All right, so a 13 and a 14. So...
Why are they so bad? Why are these rolls so bad, dice passer?
This is my best dice roll so far.
They're extremely middle of the road. They're extremely mediocre. So, Maud, as you're looking around, you do not see any other entrances. You can see that the way into this tomb was actually sort of busted open. But you do see that you could use the tomb to sort of hide yourselves without even needing a stealth check and literally get the drop on these guys from the hill that's behind them.
I like that.
Samaranth. Lyra. It's like from what you heard from the locals, just as you were in and about town, you don't actually pick up anything particularly useful of like secret entrances or anything. But you do know that the cycle of life is a surprisingly old religion that's fallen out of favor with the locals of that town specifically, which is weird because there's a tomb that's like less than a day away and it's still somewhat a popular religion, even if it's not like the most popular. So that sort of seems a little weird.
All right.
Oh, should I go first? Well, okay. So I tell them very quietly and not at all in a slightly nervous way that our best option is probably, unsurprisingly, to sneak up behind them. But I also have a little magic trick up my sleeve. So,
ooh, I like magic.
If we can sneak over there, actually, I should probably be talking to you too, shouldn't I? If we managed miraculously to get over there without alerting them. I have this nice little trick where I can maybe encourage a certain amount of noise to come from somewhere else. I could make the woods whisper, but I think a nice old-fashioned thunderclap would be a very good distraction whilst they're sort of flinching and going, bloody hell, what the hell was that? We can probably duck our way in fairly successfully. What do you say?
I say we have a good old-fashioned talk with them, Gretchen says while rolling up her non-existent sleeves.
Why would you do that? We can just go past them.
They look like wusses. I could take them.
I'm not one to turn down a large boom. I like that idea with the boom.
Okay. Good. 2-1. You're outvoted. Goodbye. Okay, we're going to sneak.
All right. So everybody roll a sneak check, just real quick.
It's gonna go so badly.
You can do it, Dice Bot.
Is that stealth?
Oh, hey.
That's pretty darn good.
Here comes the fail roll.
That's not a fail, man.
My goodness.
Whoa! Oh, man. It was just waiting. It was just waiting to use the good rolls. All right, so y'all sneak so that you're literally above these two, this halfling and this worn horse. And you're just completely flabbergasted because your shadows are over them when you're not careful enough, but they're not noticing a single thing. They're just tuned out. You can tell it's like that John Mulaney skit where it's like, I am zoned out. That is them. All right. So what do you do next now that you've successfully, you're pretty much ready to ambush them if you're going to fight. And if you're not going to fight, you should do the next part of your plan.
Well, regardless of what the other two are doing, I am not fighting them, or at least not intending to. So I'm going to, or rather Alibi is going to he kind of just looks upwards, and you think for a second nothing is actually going to happen. But then there's this sort of little tremor in the air. You're just like this little sort of hum of electricity. And then there is, like, regardless of whether there are clouds or not, you haven't really had time to notice this, but there is the loudest thunderclap because he's just sort of used thaumaturgy, which I think is pronounced like that, but God knows, to make a bloody great big thunderclap directly overhead. So he is simultaneously ducking into the place where he does not want to go, but he's going to do it because at least he'll be out of sight.
All right, so he's like jumping down into the tomb as he casts this thunderclap.
Yeah, he's kind of waited for it to definitely be about to happen, and then just swings his way down. He's a small fox. He's like not a tall toon at all.
Quick question: do you have to roll for that, or is that like a cantrip thing?
Oh, that's a cantrip. Thaumaturgy, that thing. Yes.
Excellent.
That is
all right, so you see Alibi continue on with his plan, and he literally ducks down again. The guards are like, huh, huh, and they're like looking away from the door of the tomb. They don't see a thing, but if they were to turn around, they might see you. Do you guys follow Alibi, or do you get the drop on them?
I say we follow him. We can't let him get ahead of that, get everything by himself.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, you guys have currently circumvented the entire first encounter. Way to go! So this isn't relevant now, but just keep in mind, you guys do have that free natural 20. I just want to keep it up because there's still a couple fights, but all right. So as you guys are literally popping through the door, you see that the stone doors of the tomb appear to have been literally busted open because it's like it was like sealed off Although there's a path in the dust where people have been coming and going, cobwebs and layer of dust sort of just tell you that the tomb was sealed before the door was breached. The air almost like tastes old. It's all musty and dry. And just kind of a little bit gross, but like in that way that old stuff tastes when you're like around it for too long, even though you literally just got in. So you are all now in the tomb with two unaware guards behind you, who are now, by the way, blocking the exit. I think Lyra is up next. What do you do?
Let's see. I guess we follow the path, wouldn't we?
Sounds like a plan. Would you like to take a perception check or use one of your other skills? Get a good lay of the land?
I guess I could roll I could try to roll a perception check. I do have a -1, so we'll see how that goes. That's not bad.
That's not
15. Bad. All right. It's not actually your sight that is activated. It's when you listen really closely. You can hear arguing past the turn of the hallway. There are people in front of you, and they seem to be in a sort of not heated, but like one of those amicable arguments you have with your not exactly friends, but like coworkers, where you're like, you're a bit of an idiot, but like I have to tolerate you in order to finish the job. So like we're just snarking at each other, but we're not like pulling out the big punches. It sounds like there's two of them, okay, but you can't be positive. What do you do?
So there's two more up ahead. What's we gonna ambush these guys, or are we gonna? They might call for help bringing in the other two guys.
Oh, sorry, did you stop talking or did you cut out? I couldn't tell, sorry.
Stop talking, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Alibi is trying not to freak out because he's in a desecrated tomb. And he was also, when he walked past the door, trying to figure out whether they had been broken from the outside or the inside. But we went past them very quickly, so I don't know if I'm allowed to roll on that.
Sorry. Hello? I'm so sorry. I have no idea who that was. I'm sorry. Please continue. That didn't happen.
Never mind. We'll just pass on that and leave it as an ominous detail. Yeah. So Alibi listens to this very carefully and he nods and he's saying, "Well, I think what you mean to say, dear chap, dear lady, dear, what are you actually? Do you have a gender? Gender's boring. What do you?"
Oh yeah, no, I'm a woman. She, her. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. And you, my dear person, who is a broom?
Obviously, with my feminine wiles.
Okay, well, we're sorted. I'm quite happy with any, just so you know, but default male. What we know is that there are at least two ahead. We can't be sure that there aren't any more. Is there a way we can tell if there are any more? Do you two have any?
I think no matter how many there is, we can take them on.
That's ever so sweet of you, but I would rather be sure.
Would you like to also roll perception, Mod?
Oh boy. My perception is not good, but I will. If I can get my hands to type D20. Oh my goodness, I got a nat 20. That is a nat 20 that time?
Okay, so first of all, you hear the people behind you the guards, they start up a little conversation, and they're much more amicable than the people in front of you, because you can hear the people in front of you. You can hear their every word, and you can tell that there's exactly two people. Let me see. You can actually, even tell the difference in people's tones, so you can tell that behind you, obviously, there's the halfling and the worn horse, but in front of you, there sounds like there's worn jackrabbit, and what almost sounds like, help, I'm trying to remember the other one. Yes, rubber hose duck. And they're actually talking about who gets to do what on the next shift, and they're arguing about now I get to do this thing, now I get to do this thing. Come on, I did the cruddy job last time. No, you didn't. I did the cruddy job last time.
Oh my goodness,
they're just going at it in the way that people who are kind of jerks to each other but not full-on jerks do. Just arguing. You can tell for sure that they're in a bigger room than the hallway you're in now. Your ears are galaxy braining. You can hear everything. You can hear condensation dripping down from one of the few holes in the tomb. You can tell that it's actually pretty decently holding up, in spite of the fact that it's dirty and yucky and gross and everything you hate. Stuff hasn't really gotten into this tomb. You can hear the DM. You can hear
my hearing is so good I broke the fourth wall. Actually, as someone who has hyperacuity, this is the biggest mood I've ever had in a D&D game.
So you can tell for sure that there are two people in front of you in a big-ish room, and they're heckling with each other in a very casual way. They have no idea that you're here currently. You can tell that the people behind you are sort of starting to pay attention from the zone out place that you go to when you daydream, but they're not particularly worried. So if you could theoretically be quiet here, you might be able to go through the entire tomb before they notice anything's wrong. But you can also tell from the way that things echoed, if anybody screams, you're basically screwed because the guards will hear it.
Yeah, that figures. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to do the lazy playing D&D game and say, I relate all of this information to my colleagues, because you said a mouthful, honey.
You could,
yeah.
Wait, you heard all that? How does that, wow, okay, you're okay.
Yeah, I don't know who that other person who was narrating the whole scene was. That was kind of weird. Maybe it was one of the deities. I don't know.
I think you're drinking weird water. I think you're drinking weird water. What, you're hearing things. What? You're hearing deities? What's up with that?
Well, I am a divine soul, but that's another story. Anyway, so yes, good news, 2 people. Bad news, could be 4 people very quickly if they are noisy. Any thoughts on that?
I still believe in my strength.
I'm very glad for you, darling. How about you, Doctor?
I don't have a degree. It's just doc. And well, I guess the thing is, if we take them out before they can scream, it's not a problem.
I like the way you think.
Oh boy, I'm not sure I do, but I think I'm outvoted 2-1. Is that right?
I'm on the fence.
Well,
I'm made out of fence.
Speaking out of character, literally, what's our best option here? How explodey are you 2, and how can you do that quietly?
No, I'm very loud when I fight.
What is quiet?
Okay, that answers all of my questions at once. Great. I'm looking at my spells and like seeing if there's a way to shut them up, and there actually isn't. That's very unfortunate. I should have thought about that. I mean, I've got hideous laughter, but that would probably go, oh, what if we just make them laugh? The guards up there won't think that laughing is a problem, unless that's very out of character with their work colleagues.
You immediately, with your still sort of galaxy-brained ears, which you can't, like, yet turn off, you hear them, like there's something in the way that the argument twists, and suddenly they both burst into laughter, and it's, like, really loud, and then it sort of dies down. So, I hope that answers your question. You deserve that for the 20.
Oh my goodness, thank you, deity from above.
What is this 20 you speak of?
I don't know, but that's wonderful. Okay. Right, well, I'm going to give one of... Oh, well, I've only got 2 spell slots, so do I have to do this?
As Toons, we can just do Tasha, can't we?
Yes, as Toons, you don't have to spend a spell slot to do so.
Happy day. Oh, wonderful. Right. Okay, it's tickling time. Right. Who's like, I mean, what, should I go in with the giggles first, or would you two like to hit them on the head and then I hit them with the giggles? I think the giggles should start first, really, shouldn't they? Okay.
Let me see real quick. It is based on charisma, so you may want to send whomever has the highest charisma to make them laugh.
I have a 17 in charisma.
Well, if either of you two can beat that, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, not a bit.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So the question is now, would Alibi go in first with how scared he is, given that he's pretty sure that this will work if it works, but it will go real sideways really quick if it doesn't work?
Okay, well, considering his other option is to just, like, go back, and he doesn't really actually fancy that, and he's kind of committed, and also curious, you gotta admit, there's the curious and the rewards, and he's greedy, and he wants it, and, so what he does is, like, he does this sort of, okay, sod it, and he literally just runs forwards. And he knows, because of his D20 nat 20 hearing amazing skills, that he's going to run directly between these two. And they've gone back to doing, I'm going to take some artistic liberty here, and they've gone back to, no, I'm gonna. And as he's running through, he shouts, no, I'm Spartacus, and hits both of them with the giggles. And, like, just keeps running till he's on the other side of the room as far away from them as possible.
All right. Roll your roll.
Okay, so what? That's a D20 plus 3, is it?
For charisma. Charisma is...
God, I really hope this works.
Yes, plus 3. 19!
Okay, that's a 16. 19 is a 19 plus 3, yeah.
All right. So these tunes just turn to look at you, and then they turn as you run past them. They sort of go, he took our bit. He took our gag. Normally I'd be at that, but it's pretty funny. And they both start laughing, and I need the toonkind page back up. Why did I lose it? Oh, help. It's around here somewhere.
Well, that's my turn done. It's over to you, chaps.
Oh, I was muted for a second. Gretchen's just even Gretchen's joining in on the laughter, but can't quite help laughing when other people are laughing.
I mean,
there's a party going on.
He really sold the gag. It was hysterical. It was a full on Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck situation.
Yeah, she's like walking and giggling too, like, oh, can you believe that guy? That was great, right?
All right. I would say this is Gretchen, yes?
Yes, Gretchen.
I'm gonna say roll either deception or persuasion in order to the fact that you guys are still strangers, even if he was hilarious, and now there's more people coming in.
I say, yeah, okay. Let me get this. Okay. Yep. Either way, it's +3.
All right, pick your roll and then roll it, baby.
Yeah. Yep.
Another 19. They're like,
Yes.
he's so funny. Is he the new guy? Are you guys new here? Oh my gosh, you're so cute. You guys are so funny. Come on in. I don't know when the training seminar is. We're not allowed to go past this room. Yeah, is there anybody else coming? They can come on in if they're as funny as you two.
Yeah, I run in.
Y'all just need to get rid of the good rules. Now you're in. So they're not perturbed at all. They're like, okay, that's cool. So what are you guys' job? I thought that most of you guys were supposed to be like looking around, acoustic merchants and so forth. What did something happen while you guys were out? I mean, new recruits and everything, but the training's normally done, while you're taking people's kids and stuff.
Well, I'm the demolitions expert, and I've got to set up my works before the training seminar starts.
Oh, I get it. All right, what are you for? They're like in that space where they're like literally high on their laughter just a little bit. So they're just in a great mood, man.
Awesome. Yeah, Alibi's still like he's just going. He's like stopped running, but he's like still heading to the other side of the room, and he's like, "Yeah, come on, we're gonna be late."
No, wait, buddy, you're not gonna want to go that far. We're not allowed to go into that room. And now that you guys have successfully gotten in, I'm going to describe the room. The room is honestly pretty big, with these two toons sort of lounging against the doorway that's right next to where the path continues on. It's honestly, in the most disgusting way possible, kind of gorgeous, because there are cobwebs just literally covering everything. There's water damage on stuff. There's plain old dirt. It's literally dirt floors, but the paintings are kind of beautiful in like this sort of what's the kind of curve that like goes up and down and up and down and up and down, like a bell curve is half of it.
The sine wave?
Yes, it's got this sine wave that just like shows, although parts are like deteriorated, it's got this sine wave that like shows different parts of life, and obviously the part that's birth is right next to the part that's death. It's very thematic, but the only portion that isn't a painting that you can read is a large band which encircles the entire top of the room. It reads, "As a member of the cycle of life, I solemnly swear to help others through the ups and downs life provides, contact those in key positions, and advocate for those who have broken down along the way, and give those who deny their last laugh the vaudeville hook." So you have now successfully made it into this room, and these people are like just 100% convinced you're one of them. You would have to like say something wildly out of character for their sort of apparently extremely child napping group in order for them to be unconvinced. So you still have those two guards, but they're not actually going to be a problem. But they also don't want you going past where they are. You see a little sign, actually, that's like obviously brand new, that's tacked on, that just says, "Go no further, minions," which is honestly like a little rude, but these guys are like totally chill with you, but they're like, "Yeah, boss man's in that room. He specifically said don't go past. he's with that birdie guy. Oh yeah, and the first kid that we got, she's in there too, but we're not allowed in there. So y'all just wanna maybe, hey, demolitions guy, you may wanna go ahead and set out over here since there was that big thunderstorm clap thing. Don't wanna get it wet. But yeah. And they just like sort of lean back and they're not even arguing anymore. But it will seem odd if you go past them. What do you
Gretchen's
do?
sort of looking at the sign like, that's his minions. I'm a broom. It's different.
Very good argument.
All right. What do you do?
Just try and walk.
Nothing happens. You successfully walk. There's a little corner and you can sort of see into the room, but like that room is oddly dark, but nothing happens to you. The people behind you are like, hey, okay, I guess. I mean, if you guys have got stuff with the boss man, I guess you can go. He just said, like, it's not really safe to go that way.
Ark, what's your move?
One more time?
It's Lyra's go, so...
Oh, it's mine? Sorry. Yeah, I'll follow Gretchen. Sorry. Yeah, I'll follow Gretchen. And I'll pull out a little I guess I'll pull out basically a flashlight. I basically have a...
All right, roll perception.
Minus. Okay, minus 1, so it's 8.
That's an 8. All right. There's a large thunk noise as something at your feet drops slightly, and a massive scythe comes swinging out of the ceiling.
Okay.
So, let me see. That's going to be a direct attack. So, congrats. You guys have successfully evaded literally every other opportunity I've had to attack you guys until now. So, I've got D24. That's a 19 hit.
Yeah, 19 hits.
All right, so that's see, so that's 1.
We get an F in the chat.
Rip the first hit. D6.
Oof.
7 points of damage, my dude. Are you alive? Are you okay?
I'm alive.
Okay, good.
I'm hurt though. Wait, actually, what type of damage was it? Slashing, I guess.
Slashing. Yes, it's slashing.
All right.
Got that health point potion though.
Yeah. And yeah. Ow. Okay. That was a bad choice.
The two people who are behind you are like, oh, that's why. And they're sort of like pointing at each other as they say, that's why. And it's like, it's very funny.
Holy
also,
tamale.
you say the two people behind him. You mean 3?
Yes, of course, Alibi. Oh,
You think I'm stupid?
Well, as much as I enjoyed that, I think maybe this is a safety hazard. I'm gonna pull out my thieves' tools and see if...
All right, roll for it. You notice that the scythe is literally sticking in the wall. It's not like fully reset. So it seems like it could be pretty safe.
Oh, all right. Well, in that case, that's fine.
There's always that concern, though.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not going to reset, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just stuck in the wall with like a little bit of your containment vest, which astonishingly is not one of the pieces that's necessary, but it's like scary how close it got to one of the necessary pieces, and it hurt you real good, but now it's stuck. So it seems like Alibi could walk past it safely. Probably.
I'm like halfway between sauntering vaguely downwards, or like trying to persuade these two to like either just like go back to their addicted positions, or like, you sure like we're from the union, or are your pay benefits like really knocking you up? Like, there's so many options to go for here. I don't really know what to play. Like, how are those two looking now? Like after that saga has like just wound up.
Honestly, they're really fond of you. They're like nudging you a little bit with their elbows, like, yeah, you got your bits. You know what's up. They seem like they would probably listen to you if you did something that wasn't wildly out of character, but it also seems like if they turned on you, your allies would be behind a scythe before they could get to you and help fight. And there's still the problem of 4 on 3 if a shout gets out. So it seems like, to be clear, you could ask them to do something and they'll go, that's weird, no, or yeah, sure. But if you tried to make them do something, that's when you would start getting a little dicey. And you can also ask them questions, and they're like 100% gung-ho.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the last option. Yes, you two are just lovely. Easy with the ribbing, only 6 hit points. Darlings, I've got when you hear we were brought in from the union. By the way, how's your dental plan? Do they have that installed yet?
Oh yes, our dental plan is pretty great actually. And the rubber hose bird is like, I don't have any teeth. And the rabbit is like, yeah, whatever. Our dental plan is great. And the rubber hose bird is like immediately like, oh yeah, well, that has nothing compared to our wing plan. You see, we have hollow bones. And the rabbit's like, hollow bones? Oh, come on, please don't talk about this again. Hey, do you have dental? Hey, man, if they haven't given you dental, and the bird is like immediately on, like, yeah, man, if they haven't given you dental, we'll get on their case. We'll send a full note. We'll send a lawyer's note. That's what they do, right? And they're like immediately going back to bantering with each other, but they seem pretty happy, even though they're kidnapping children.
Interesting. Right. Well, if possible, I'm going to like be sort of smiling and nodding, and then just casually walking on to join my colleagues down the death tunnel, but sort of leaving them to have this amusing conversation because, like, we're chill, okay?
Yeah, they don't notice a thing.
Awesome.
All right, so all 3 of you are down the hallway in this tomb. One of you is injured. You do have that healing potion.
And I'll drink that.
All right, go ahead and mark that off your character sheet then. Just to be clear.
I heal all the way, which is, oh wow.
Nice.
That's real good. So all of you are fully healed. You have 2 whole encounters that you just sashayed through. And you come down this hallway, which has like a curve in it. And you come to this room that's even bigger. Let me set the scene.
Good atmospheric music here.
Yeah, I mumble. It's a thing that I do. All right. So you open into honestly an even larger room than the one before you. It has a truly impressive statue on a pedestal at the end of it. It's like this hallway down to the statue, and there's like honestly not much else here than in the other. It hasn't been used as much, and it's much farther away from the entrance. Inside, an Aarakocra is throwing out every censored swear word that they know and kicking the altar, while a Frank and Ollie bird perches atop a cage. Inside the cage is your lost lamb, stuck in such tight quarters it's not even funny, and crying genuine tears of terror. They're completely ignoring this poor thing, and it's pretty clear that they have no intention of making her comfortable, even though they're blackmailing her father.
Ooh.
What do
See,
you
Ray,
do?
I think it's you next, yeah.
Muted again. Whoops.
Maud, I'm so glad you're keeping track of this.
Not like this one bit. This is crying not out of laughter, because that's not in good spirit or fun. That's just mean. That's bullying.
Love you, Gretchen, so much.
She's valid and I love her.
Also, swearing in front of a kid? That's a little much.
That's a lot of much. He's like doing the fullest censored swears. He's going all out.
Gretchen pulls in like a circle here. Like, we need to talk this out. We need to do something. That's not a good situation. This is not good. That's bad. Gretchen's just pointing like, no, that's wrong.
The Aarakocra turns around and he says, I don't recognize you. And if I don't recognize you, I didn't hire you. Pulls out this massive kugel and says, and I'm the only person who hires people around here. So you're trouble. The Frank and Ollie bird hops off the cage, and peers at you closely and says, I don't recognize them either, boss. And the Aarakocra says, shut up. Full initiative.
Oh, God, not again.
Are we keeping our initiative normal, or are we?
Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's right.
It sounds so
it's
cool,
instinctive. Maud,
Yeah.
you're up.
No, I'm not.
No, that's right. I'm sorry. I will do better at this. So that's Lyra up, right? No.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
I think Ray just
it's
talked.
me.
Yes.
It's either Ray or you, so yeah.
I will pull out my comedically oversized wrench that I carry around as a great club, and I will run up to them and attempt to smack the Aarakocra in the face.
All right. Go ahead and roll for it.
Actually, hang on, I might cast a spell. Sorry.
All right, roll for it.
Yes, okay. I will be casting Arcane Weapon on my wrench club. Also. That's not gonna hit though. Probably.
Number 10 does not.
Yeah.
The Aarakocra easily moves out of the way and just glares at you balefully and says, you'll have to do better than that to hit me. Who's next?
I am, and you know what? I think I am going to do better than that. And so, yeah, Alibi points at that guy because he's not actually cool with any of what this is happening. And he uses his cantrip, which is called Toll the Dead, which is, you are going to have to make a wisdom saving check.
All right. My wisdom is 0, so that was a good idea. 20? That's not 20.
Oh my goodness, are you joking?
I'm not, but honestly, I wish I was, because that was really smart. He looks at you balefully and says, what are you trying to do to someone as intelligent? He steps forward once. Smart! He steps forwards twice.
May I take an attack of opportunity?
Steps forwards 3 times. as me with something as pathetic as that. He
Gonna
is
take it
now mad, and he is going straight for the sorcerer, ignoring the fighter, ignoring the artificer. He is going straight for you.
But can I have an attack? Can I have an attack of opportunity as he runs past me, though?
Sure, go ahead.
Yay! Thank you.
No. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, sweet.
You really did try, but the Aarakocra doesn't even blink when he dodges your attack. He is mad as a hatter, as they say. It's a 16 hit.
I think Gretchen would run in as well, though. So, like.
Yeah, you're both in front of me. That's true.
Fair enough.
Let's see.
I'll just hold over the number for later. My apologies.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're right. I'm wrong.
Let's see. 3, was it?
Oh.
I'm not gonna do it either. You both really, you both should get gold stars because by golly, you really did try.
Okay.
But he doesn't blink at you either. He's just going and he's swinging. Now, Alibi. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm a level 1.
All right.
I'm a level 1 sorcerer with 6 hit points. Gonna hurt. And I can't even use the Acne effect yet because I'm not a high enough level.
Let me see.
Question. If I like eat it, can I cast Spare the Dying on myself?
Sure. I will let it happen. Do you cast that before somebody dies or after somebody dies?
After. It's like when they hit 0. So like if my hand fell on myself, I could probably do it.
All right. So you take 4 hit points. You're not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. Oh,
not dead yet. You're real close, but you're not dead yet.
Oh.
So now you have this absolutely furious Aarakocra in front of you.
Sweet.
Let me see. That's right. Next up, we've got the bird.
Oh my gosh, really?
The bird is not as interested in you because obviously the Aarakocra is both possessive and pissed. So she's gonna take her short bow. She is going to aim at Samaranth because she does not seem as heavily armored as Reibles as much as she's covered. It's a 19 hit, my dear. It's working for me.
It does actually do. It does actually hit, surprisingly.
I can't believe it, man.
Yikes.
Short bow. I'll probably survive this attack. Yeah, okay.
5 points of damage, my dear.
I'm up. I'm swinging.
All right. Next up is Ray. You got 2 people who are really hurt and 2 enemies who have not been touched. What do you do?
Charge.
Yes. Kick their ass.
Gretchen runs in swinging at the bird and let's see. Strength roll? Or
Strength plus proficiency, probably.
A 12 against... That is not going to hit. You swing past her and the bird uses her wings to flop to just hop a little bit and manages to evade your blow. She is now focused on you, though. So that's good. Lyra, you're up.
I'm gonna spring up in the air and just bring the hammer, the wrench down on the Saracocra, and I'm gonna use inspiration to crit on it.
Yes, good lass.
Alrighty. So I guess you just tell me how much damage you do, because I can't defend against that.
Okay, and then add to that 2d6. Okay, so I bring this wrench down. I press a button on the wrench, and just fire starts spurting out of it, and it hits the Aarakocra for 11 bludgeoning and 6 fire damage.
All right. So it is now, it folds into an accordion, and then it springs up, and its eyes are really bloodshot, and it like drops its cugel and picks it up, and now it menaces towards you, but it's still got its eye on the sorcerer that it like literally beat within an inch of its life. This thing is mad, this thing is bloodied, but it is not dead. Alibi, what do you do?
Well, I'm in much the same state. What a coincidence. I'm going to ask, like, right now, does using a healing potion use up my turn?
I don't think it would use up your turn. Let's say that it uses move so that you can still attack. Let's say, here's what we'll say. We'll say it either uses up your move or your attack. You get to pick which. So do you want to get away and not do anything, or do you want to attack, but you're still in swinging range of this very mad guy?
I'm a very mad guy. Alibi is not looking hot, so you're actually like not quite sure whether he does this or whether the magic kind of does it for him. So his hand kind of raises up in the air and you think it's going to go for the healing potion, but it doesn't. Because what happens next is that I roll and hope to God that I hit something for the love of it. So I'm going to cast, hopefully, Chaos Bolt, which is one of my favorite spells. And I can't remember what I add to that. Like, what do I add to that?
Chaos Bolt is acid. It's +5.
Okay. Also, it's not acid, but I'll tell you what it actually is in a second, because you're gonna love it if it hits. Please. That's a 16.
Sorry, I had to roll a concentration
So
check.
it's a 16?
Sorry?
It's 16?
It's a 16.
That exactly hits. Tell me what happens.
Awesome. Okay. So Chaos Bolt is so much fun. I have hurled an undulating, warbling mass of chaotic energy at one creature in range. And I have to roll a 2d8 plus 1d6 damage. If you could do that, like, hang on. Writing and talking is really, really hard. So 2d8 plus 1d6, I think. Is that right? I have no idea how to do this. Oh, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, roll the 2d8, but not the 1d6 that gives you.
Okay, y'all are gonna have to help me out.
And we'll add them together.
I've like never used this dice parser before.
Me neither.
Okay, like my brain can't figure out what to do right now because I'm like trying to not help. Can like someone do this for me? I literally can't. My brain is just frozen.
Yeah.
Math is bad.
Yeah, I've got it.
I'm a cartoonist.
6 9 3
So that's a 3.
You have 12 points of damage.
Okay, so it's such a shame because if the 2d8s have the same number, then I can make it leap to another character. So yeah, I have to choose one of the numbers of one of those d8s, and that tells you what kind of magic it is. So
All right, so you can pick either a 2 or a 7.
2 or a 7. So that's either cold or psychic. Alibi is really annoyed, so I'm going to go with psychic. So yeah, you just see this sort of purple Pokemon-esque sort of warping of the space-time continuum in the room, and it just like smacks into this Aarakocra.
He groans and goes, "Yeah!" He falls to a knee, uses Hugel as a support so that he doesn't fall over completely. And then he glares a very, very angry, but also very, very weak eye at you.
I just give him a beautiful smile.
I'm gonna wipe that smile off your face! Because it is now also his turn. Let's see, once again, that's a +4 to hit. These guys, man.
Please miss, please miss, please miss.
Does a 9 hit?
No, it does not!
He takes his cue goal and it's like underhand pose, which he's using to hold on, and he swipes it up at you. And he misses entirely, wholly and utterly. He just completely misses. The Frankenolly bird kind of like sighs, like, come on, man. Come on. And she is currently fighting Gretchen?
Gretchen, yes.
So she is going to swap out her short bow, just leaving this guy to either die or take him out, and pull out his scimitar. And she hops back a little, and this is the first time you've actually heard the sheep, like, coherent. The trapped sheep in the cage goes, "Don't hurt him! Don't hurt him!" And she ignores it completely. She swings with her scimitar.
Awesome, by the way.
Does a 10 hit?
Armor class is 15.
All right, so then she misses you, and she swings around a couple times, and she gets dizzy, like, for just half a second, but she shakes it off before anything else can happen. All right. Ray, it is now your turn.
She moves in close for another attack. Carry back. Let's see. Oh, oops. Oof.
Yeah, 6 is not going to do it. You also swing, and you miss, and you turn around a couple times, and you're a little dizzy, but you get yourself back together before anybody else can move. So, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. Lyra, you've got a very, very damaged and very, very pissed Aarakocra, and you've got also a Frankenolly bird that hasn't been touched. What do you do?
I believe I'm in melee with this Aarakocra, so I'm going to deal with that currently.
All right.
So I spin around with a wild flourish and bring my wrench down on the ground, missing entirely, like smashing into the...
Yeah, it forms a little divot, and you can see the little lamb go, "No, the nice floor!" She's kind of like not sure what to be sad about anymore, so she's just sad about everything. She's in actually a good deal of pain with how small the cage is, so she's just like sad about everything. And none of you can blame her because she's had a really rough fucking day.
Yeah. Also,
all right. I believe it is now Alibi's turn.
Oh, goody. Okay, nothing else is happening before he downs that healing potion because, my goodness, the poor boy needs it.
Yes.
So,
just a little bit.
So Just a little bit. So that's a 2d4 plus 2, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, let's see if I can actually do that this time.
You can't use the space as the thing.
Oh, for crying out loud, that's all it is. I'm so dumb.
I think so.
Sorry. Let's see.
Yeah, there we go. 5 points of damage healed.
Don't give me 5 points of damage, please.
Healed, sorry.
Ah, phew, that's much better. Yes, I am back to my hearty hail 6 hit points. There we go. Whew, that's much better. Can I do anything else in that turn, or?
I believe that's the end of your turn, unless you want to disengage with your move.
Nah, that's fine.
All right, it's your funeral.
Oh wait, no. What do you mean by disengage?
Like you can. Right now, you're in melee with this guy, so he can hit you pretty freely.
Run away. Oh, I'm gonna run the heck away.
So you can disengage, which is literally just moving away from straight up melee range. You're not actually running far yet, but you don't provoke an opportunity attack if you only move that far. You can also just use your full move, but that provokes an opportunity attack. So I'm assuming you want to just disengage.
Yeah, that would be so nice. I would love to do that.
All right, Alibi wiggles his fingers in front of, on the sides of his face and sticks out his tongue, and then shifts just out of reach of this Aarakocra. All right. I think this Aarakocra gets back to his feet. I think what he does is he whirls around to Doc and says, "If I can't get one of you, I'll get the other." And he swings down his Kugel.
Sorry, Doc.
No worries. That'll hit.
Are you sure that's gonna hit? I'm not positive.
It's a 21 for the benefit of the tape. Ooh.
Yeah, it just gets me, just barely.
Where the heck?
Now, when you say Kugel, this is bludgeoning damage, yes?
Oh yes, a little bit. I think it was.
We have resistance on that, don't
we? I think that's 9 points of damage, but you have something interesting to tell me, don't you?
Hey boy! Yeah, the thing is, I'm dead.
Oh dear.
Like, straight up dead.
Yeah, so the Kugel comes down, and you see it, like, hit Doc, but it doesn't, like, hit the normal way it hits Toons, where it's all, like, rubbery and stuff. It hits sort of like it's a balloon, and Doc just kind of kerplooshes.
Yeah, there's a nasty crunching sound, and my head just sort of blows up, and
Oh no.
There's
okay, Alibi doesn't like that. Okay, we do need an F in the chat.
So the Aarakocra's like, ha! Ha 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 ha! And he points at you two and is like, I told you! Ha ha! I'm not dumb! Ha ha ha! And then he steps in in between Doc and the other two and says, if you leave now, we'll let your friend go. And we'll let you all free if you never come back. So the thing is, in this region, the reason bandits are so well known and they're fought so often is they often take prisoners rather than actually slaughtering their people they kidnap. It's why kidnapping is such a big deal these days. So he's actually probably good for his word if you guys just turn around and leave right now. You do have Spare the Dying. And you do have a lamb to save. But you've also got a guaranteed get out of jail free card trying to tempt you.
I just took enough to take me to negative max. Spare the Dying will not help me. I am dead.
Really?
Yeah.
That stabilizes you.
No, I'm dead. I cannot be stabilized.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, someone! No!
Can I say that he's doing non-lethal damage? Like I said, it's actually pretty common in this region to ransom prisoners. Hence why you guys are saving this lamb.
Okay. So what do we do now? Like,
I'm actually gonna say that was intentional. I'm gonna say that that's non-lethal damage.
okay.
He just needed to prove something. So your friend is technically still alive because I said so. But
Thank you.
But Doc's like real bad, like melted bad. So you are gonna want to use that spare the dying. You're gonna want to use whatever healing you got.
Yeah, I don't have any healing. I have spare the dying, and that's it. And I've used the healing potion, so I can't even give him that. Oh no.
Hey guys, you guys who brought the healing spells.
It's okay.
Today.
Gretchen will use the potion.
Oh, Gretchen! Oh, you're like,
that ain't funny. It ain't funny to let someone be hurt like that. That's not a joke.
No.
That ain't a prank, bro.
Yeah.
The Frankenolly looks like a little perturbed, and she's like, where's the gag? That's not funny, man. What kind of boss are you? The Arakaka's just like, he's just like doing one of those completely obnoxious football touchdowns a little bit. Just like teabagging a little bit. He doesn't care that this is not actually good or funny. He was mad, and now he's pulling a gag where there really shouldn't be one.
Okay.
So, my friends, let me ask you, what do you do?
Would spare the dying like do anything? Because he's not like actually dead or at 0, right?
I think he's at 0, but he's not. Hang on, let me check non-lethal damage.
She would technically be stable if it was.
All right, she's stable. Regarding non-lethal damage, hurry up and load faster.
If she's already stable, then there's no point in me using spare the dying. So I have a blank canvas on which to muck about with, which actually makes my job more difficult. Damn it. This is hard because Alibi is like equal parts like really wanting to take that ticket to freedom, and he's still friends with all of the people that they will have to go past at the moment, but he's also extremely not friends with this person and does not like them very much, and he's not actually a very nice person himself. So it's going to be, I really hope it works this time, because that would be so cool. He's going to sort of look thoughtful, he's got the chin at his hand, and he's just sort of like, you know what, you make a very strong case. I'm a very stubborn person, and the hand just swings round ever so slightly so that his finger points at the Arakaka, and he tries again. Please be successful this time. Toll the dead. So make a wisdom saving check.
11. So that's.
That doesn't make it. A 3 won't make it.
That's really good. I'm very happy. I'm very glad about this. I was starting to hate this guy. Tell me what it does, darling.
Okay, so Toll the Dead is another wonderful thing because you point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, which it has not, or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes a 1d12 necrotic damage. So that's gonna be a 1d12. Please be good. It's a 6. That'll do.
That's
I mean, it's not great, but
that's enough though.
ooh, goody.
The Aarakocra hears this bell and doesn't even like this is the most cartoony thing it's done aside. Like, it's been gloating over an enemy that it clearly defeated, and it's been a jerk all the way through, but it's not really been cartoony. It's just been sort of a dick. But when it hears this bell, it like snaps all of its limbs straight together and just sort of falls back. There's no coffin the way it would be in a proper gag. There's no wedding bell. There's no church bells. There's no priest that runs up and says, "By the power of Christ, I say." None of that. But this is the closest you've gotten to an actual cartoony, appropriate thing out of this jerk the entire time. So
I'm so happy about this right now.
I'm very happy too. So what happens is the Frank and Ollie bird just looks at you and says, "Listen, man, I know we're like kidnapping kids, but that was whack, okay?
You mean he was whack or I was whack? I think both.
No. Let me be clear. He was whack. That was the whack that I was talking about. Him, not you. You were perfectly appropriate.
Super.
Am I gonna be allowed to just take the others and go, or are we gonna keep doing this? Because I agree that he was way out of line there.
Oh, I'm so glad we see eye to eye, because I personally would really just love to call it a day, and your friends back there seem just ever so charming, so perhaps if you could just, yes, tell them all it's a day off. You know, the boss has decided, like, especially with the new staff on hand down here, that perhaps they can just take the evening off.
Yeah, right. I'm just, she sort of sidles past and just like watches to see if Reibles, to see if Gretchen and Doc are gonna do anything, and she's like, we're all just cool with me going, right? She's like, I'm not gonna be attacked. I'm not gonna be stabbed in the back, so I'm making sure we're all cool before I leave.
All friends.
Gretchen isn't going to attack, but she is giving the look, like she was disapproving of this whole thing, like you were involved with this person. She's giving you the look.
One of the little tweeting birds that are currently flying around just kind of nods.
All right, we're good. And she just walks off. You see, who? You hear, who set off the site? Oh. And then you hear 3 people go, "Oh, that's right." And that's when you realize that the only 2 people who came over here were birds and likely flew over here. So they were aware of the scythe trap, but they didn't set it off.
Smart.
And then you hear nothing except for a little lamb trying to like wipe the tears away from her eyes, but she's still like sort of in pain. And it's like, are you here to save?
Oh my gosh. Whose turn is it? I've lost track.
You were last, so DM would be next, so it's Ray's turn.
Okay. Gretchen just looks up at the little girl. Of course, we're going to get you out of here. It's awful what you went through here. I'm sorry you had to hear all those horrible French words.
They were terrible! I didn't even understand more than 2 of them, and Dad never swears, so they must be real bad.
Oh, they were terrible. Trust me. One day you'll know. But for now, you don't need to. It's okay. We're here. All
right. I'm gonna require an easy strength check from you. So just roll strength.
Okay, let's see.
A 12 will do it. You pop the lid off the cage, and the lamb like literally does pop up as soon as the lid comes up, because it was really cramped in there. These people were not good people. And she immediately like runs and hugs each and every one of you, whether you're willing to have hugs or not. Like with tears in her eyes, just streaming down in that cartoony but not funny way, where it's like she's actually like relieved of terror. She says, "Thank you. Are we? Do you? And she like waves her head and says, They were trying to find something from the statue. Are we gonna figure that out first, or are we gonna go?"
I think before anything else, we should probably save our extremely ill-looking friend, and Alibi is sort of nodding at the corpse on the floor. Because I don't have a healing potion anymore.
Oh yeah, Gretchen's going over there and gonna hoist that potion on the duck.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Okay, 1d4 was it?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4.
That's nice.
5 points of damage.
All right.
Healed. 5 points of healing. I'm sorry.
I think this potion's gone bad.
You already killed it once.
Doc pops up, picks the red jump, looks around, like, "Oh, all right. Everything looks fine. We're fine. Everything's good now.
Thumbs up.
Cool.
Awesome.
Sorry about that. I'm fine.
Think so, and don't do it again.
I'll try. I'll try."
Alibi's actually just smiling from ear to ear because he just nearly beefed it 2 amounts.
I love you guys. All right. So the lamb has indicated that something's up with the statue, but since the lady is leaving, you could also just go. What do you guys do?
I just spoke, so I feel it's Ray's go, probably.
Oh, right. Shoot. I think Gretchen's on the side of we should probably get this girl out of here. She's been through enough. We need to at least get her out of this kind of scary place.
Yeah, we can always. Yeah.
We can come back to this later. I think this girl has seen it all. And heard it all for sure. Let's get her out.
Yeah, those guys were bleep, bleep, pulse. Just Doc. And then realizes what she said and covers her mouth.
How dare you? All right. So, with that rousing success at your heels, you guys travel back to town, once again making it safely through the forest of Notaro. Maybe the forest spirit smiled upon your mission, because, again, nothing happens. You reunite Bernard and his daughter Willa, the little lamb. We leave on our party celebrating with each other back at the tavern, enjoying the minor fame that comes with a rescue well done. Say your parting remarks, folks. We're almost out of this.
Alibi is like trying to enjoy all of this like celebration, but he looks like this has like never happened before. So he's like just kind of bewildered and pleased, but also like just keeps kind of ducking people trying to hug him because he's like, well, this is just not absolutely not what he's used to. And there is a part of him that was curious, and there was a part of him that really wanted to see what was up with that statue, but there was a larger part of him that had absolutely had enough, did not want to be messing, also still was very aware that that was all happening in a desecrated grave. So when they had left, he tried basically to like encourage the others to push the stones back into place because he don't want none more of that. No, thank you.
I could have cast mending on those doors if you wanted me to.
Awesome. That suits me just fine. So yeah, while he's like trying to duck all these strangers who are being nice to him for some reason, he sort of just, he doesn't really say anything to the other two, but he keeps like looking at them like he's really actually kind of like digs these people, and you get the idea that this isn't a common thing, and you might catch him later on carrying that very, very small sheep on his also not very tall shoulders and actually enjoying himself quite a lot.
Mhm.
Excellent. Ray, it's your turn.
Well, Gretchen has her eyes on the prize. She wants that wool. Mama needs a new pair of shoes, slippers. She's been barefoot this entire time.
All right. As due to his promise, he will lead you through his wares after you're done drinking at the tavern. But he is currently in a private room getting sheared, literally as you speak. Like you can occasionally hear the buzzing just a little bit. When the crowd murmur is not too loud. This leaves the little lamb with you three, and she's like bouncing between you three because on the overnight it took you to get through the forest of Notaro, she is like gotten extremely attached. She is so over the moon with you three heroes, and she's just like, yeah, these guys saved me. They brought me from this cage, and there was this big bad guy, and then what was it? Which came first? The bad guy. He hit the guy with the mask, and the guy fell, and he went splat, and not like the good kind of splat, you know, like and she slaps one of the fellow toonkind, and they react appropriately, like what? She's like, yeah, not like that, like, and she pauses, and she's like, the bad splat. But then Mr. Alibi, she can't say it properly. Alibi came and he was like, zap, zap, nobody touches my friend. And then Gretchen was like, what? Ha! But she missed. And then the other one was like, but she missed too. And they were doing proper tunes. And we all agreed that Era Crocker was not a proper tune. She is ecstatic.
So cute.
All right, Ray, do you have anything else to say?
Not really. That Gretchen had a very fun time, and that this was, I think, also, shoot, words.
They're hard sometimes.
They are.
They are hard.
Gretchen,
Especially after like 2 hours of them.
Gretchen after is giving like the little lamb some head pats and stuff. She's gotten kind of attached. You know, she's gotten just as attached. What a cute kid.
Uh-oh.
All right. Lyra, I think you're up.
Yeah.
Doc handling her near demise and then resurrection, and also this very cute lamb just squeeing practically over them.
She's mostly been enjoying herself, with a part of the story about knocked unconscious and not behaving in a proper tune way. Came around, she looked a little embarrassed, but then things got better, so that's fine. When he's done getting sheared, she wants to talk to Bernard. Is that all right?
Very reasonable. Would you like to talk to him now as a Treddy?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, this will be our last little thing. Bernard comes out, and there's also like this much more basically bald sheep that comes out before him, and like you can see Gretchen get like really excited for half a second, and then Bernard comes out and he's like very closely sheared, but not quite as closely sheared, and Gretchen just like wilts the tiniest bit because like there's a lot of wool in his arms, but like the other guy got really excited. And now he still like has some fur, so it's like, is this a really fair trade? Bernard comes out and says, well, my dear, I don't know what you'll do with the wool raw, but you can have it now, or I can actually have it processed for you. Which would you like? After you saved my... And you can see him like immediately start tearing again. My precious daughter! And Willa comes in like, Daddy! And they're both like crying a little bit because, as it turns out, that's actually more of a family trait than just the fact that they were in perilous circumstances.
Yeah, I was getting one. Weepy sheepy.
I'll take that process. That'd save me some time. That'd be great.
Absolutely, my dear. I will do it for you. Now, there is the promise of reward, which I gave you and am good for. He sniffs and tries to make sure that everybody's paying attention. So you each had a healing potion, which obviously was not part of the final trade. Would you like another healing potion to be used when you adventure other ways? Yes?
Yes, absolutely. This one came in very useful.
All right, so he doles out a healing potion to you, taking you his wares. He gives you a couple hundred gold, which, when split across you guys, is about 70 gold each. And I want you guys to tell me, what specific item do you pick up from his shop that you want? You tell me rather than I tell you.
Wow, that's a hard question. Oh, are they allowed to be anything from the D&D marketplace of crazy things that you can buy, or
within reason, and you have to find it within the next 5 minutes so that we're not standing here for an hour. So keep in mind that this was a merchant who was acousted on the way here. So maybe keep it to just the stuff that's within the normal player's handbook, but you could probably get a halberd or a scroll that's of a moderate level. Let's say nothing more than 500 gold pieces from the player's handbook. Let me see, I can probably find that.
I don't have that, so that's going to be interesting.
I have a PDF.
Oh, awesome. That would be very helpful.
I've got it up currently if anyone needs it.
Oh, yeah. Could you throw a link at me? Thank you.
No, sorry, I've got the physical copy.
Oh.
I can throw a link at you.
That would be very kind. Thank you. Sorry, it's 10 p.m. and Mod's brain stops working at 9.
Honestly, that's fair. Kai actually has a great point. Why don't we figure out what items you pick out within the next couple of minutes, but go ahead and end the call. So as I said, we leave our heroes celebrating each other back at the tavern, with bouncing between Bernard talking about what wares he does have, and occasional accolades from the other people wow, way to go, y'all actually did go into that tomb, which was definitely not haunted.
Oh, good. So good to know.
As I'm looking through his wares, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm noticing you don't have a lot of, explosives. So if you ever need to stock up, here's my business card. I'm going to hand that to him.
Out of this rescue mission, I get a fellow seller? I'm glad to hear this. What do you two sell, brave heroes who saved my precious daughter, Daddy? They do it again. All right.
Sometimes I make a very lovely little scented bath thing, to put in your bathroom. Keep it nice, using little forest herbs sometimes.
You would be surprised how well those sell, my dear. You must give me your contact information as well. After all, I do owe you that favor.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
My dear Alibi, are you going to be around in the area? I know I've got to get you your things. Don't fear, I will. But you seem like a proprietary sort. Surely you can sell some stuff. And my dear Willa has grown rather fond of you too. You see Willa telling the story again. She's like, and the guy says, "Don't touch my friend!" Zap, zap, zap. She is very, very excited about that one spell that you did.
Alibi doesn't have the heart to say that he didn't say anything.
Of course he didn't. That's little kid talk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alibi looks kind of sheepish for a second, and well, pardon the pun. And he sort of says, I don't really do work. It's not really my cup of tea, but I suppose if I'm in the area, I could stop in and say hello to you too. I wouldn't mind. So if you just keep a spare bed for me, that would be lovely, and I'll see what I can do for you on the occasion.
Excellent. I will be more than glad to have any of you for dinner at time if you give me prior warning. We zoom out on our protagonist then on this cheerful scene as this successful rescue mission comes to a close. That's all, folks.
thank you so much for DMing.
Thank you guys. This was amazing.
Yes, and thank you, Kai, for recording it for us.
Yes,
this
thank
is
you,
wonderful.
Kai. I promise I will figure out whatever I need to do before I do my next session. I completely dropped the ball on that one, and you had my back.
Ooh, that was so much fun. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now because my throat is quite sore.
All right. I'll pretty soon start coming up with timelines for the next game. If y'all, I do request that you guys wait a game
Yep.
before you hop back in to make sure that everybody gets the chance to play. But this was a blast. So after that one game, feel free to come back and play another one shot with me because this was great.
This was super great.
Really fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
You
thank
guys,
you.
y'all were fabulous. Trust me, a major part of every good game is good players. Y'all were great.
And aren't you so glad that we avoided fighting people until we had to?
I can't believe you guys avoided, I think it was 4 combat encounters and only fought the last guy. I genuinely can't believe that. There was supposed to be like a surprise encounter that happened while you were fighting other people, but you never fought people, so it couldn't happen.
Pacifist run, baby!
That's the way we do it.
Undertale rules. Okay, I'm gonna call it, and yeah, that was so great. Thank you, DM. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Lyra. I am so sorry I can't pronounce your name.
All right, have a good rest of your day, y'all. Bye.
Yeah.